Trump faces the possibility of historic second impeachment. There are calls for his resignation. His staff is resigning, also quitting. So will be some legal consequences for Trump, actually.
First, Biljana, great to be with you on this program. Let me wish all Macedonians, all those who celebrate Srećan Božić, Merry Christmas to you and all the best in 2021 for your country and all citizens in your country.
Thanks,
in your beautiful country, I should say.
Thank you.
Very fond memories of living there. And let me say that, yes, there is much more increased possibility of Donald Trump actually facing consequences, serious consequences for his irresponsible, disgraceful actions in inciting the attack on the U.S. Capitol. The problem, Biljana, the problem is time. There's only a dozen days left in the administration. And clearly, we have two options. If you would allow me to continue, I can explain the two main options, but you let me know.
Mm-hmm. Please.
Okay.
Please.
All right. So there are two main options. The first option is what they call the 25th Amendment. This is the 25th, it is the 25th Amendment to the Constitution. This is for when a president is incapacitated and his own members, the vice president and a majority of the cabinet members can vote themselves to say that he is incapacitated and that then the vice president will take over. The problem here is politics. Vice President Pence is clearly not wanting to do that. Why would he not want to do that? He knows that that would be very unpopular with the part of the Republican Party that's still very fervent, angry. You saw some of them there at that Capitol on Wednesday, on the 6th of January, the terrible day. And so Vice President Pence will not do that. Congress can also has a role there, but to effect the 25th Amendment, you need 2/3 vote in both houses. So it would require Republicans in the Senate and the House, actually, in both, to go along. And of course, we saw from the vote on Biden's, the certification of the election results determining that Biden was winning, that still, Biljana, still incredibly, even after the attack on the Capitol, even after that attack, many Republicans, including some U.S. senators, were still objecting and challenging these electoral votes from some of the states. So there's clear reluctance on still a significant part of the Republican Party to go and challenge Donald Trump in this way. Indeed, they are still carrying his water, as we say. They are still defending him on the election. And now, if you want, I can explain impeachment too. Please.
Yeah. Did Trump initiated the riot? It's not clear what was his role, actually.
Okay, Biljana, let me explain that for you. All right. Quickly, let me just say impeachment. We had impeachment begins in the House of Representatives, and that is in the power of Democrats to begin. So there would not be time to complete this, but there could be theoretically articles of impeachment that would be filed, and that would be a powerful symbolic step. I repeat, a symbolic step of further significant official holding Trump accountable, even though it would not be completed in the time that is left. So let me quickly say that. Now, to answer your question, how did Trump incite the riot? I will give you three ways that Donald Trump incited that riot. First way, he falsely, baselessly, without evidence, continued and continues to claim that the election was stolen from him, that he won, quote, by a landslide, that the election was rigged, that there was massive fraud. He made baseless allegations that have been taken in court over 60 times, and they have been refuted, rejected, even by Republican-appointed judges, even by judges appointed by Donald Trump himself. And I point that out to you in your country, Biljana, North Macedonia. That's a very important signal list for Macedonian citizens. Think about that. In your country, would the judges, even those who were appointed by a leader, would they refuse and reject the claims of that leader in such a situation where everything is on the stake at a table, including political power? That's the difference. Our judiciary, even these are Republicans, loyal Republicans who are appointed to these positions as judges, they rejected these claims. So now, further, that not only did he make these claims, he attacked, I want to repeat, he attacked in the most direct way Republican officials, for example, in the state of Georgia, who concluded that the election there was fair and that Joe Biden had won. So that's the first way he's responsible, by weeks and weeks of baseless allegations and claims that he continues to make that he won the election in a landslide. That is the first. That is the basis for all of that anger that you saw among the people there. These lies that they have been told, including by members of Congress, but beginning with Donald Trump. That's the first. The second way that Donald Trump incited that riot and that mob attacking the Capitol, the second way was he falsely claimed that in that chamber, that Vice President Pence and the members of Congress had the power to overturn those results and to reject them. That was not their job. That was not their duty. That was not the power within the power of Vice President Pence. But Donald Trump insisted that it was, and falsely created the conception among these people that if there was only sufficient pressure on Vice President Pence and the members of Congress, that then they could, in fact, make Donald Trump president as they believed it should be. So that's the second reason, Biljana, the specific direction to this crowd and to supporters that this election result could be reversed. I repeat, reversed in Congress. That's the second reason. The third way that Donald Trump incited this attack, unprecedented attack on the U.S. Capitol, not done in 2 centuries, is that he, at the speech, his speech, the rally on the White House grounds, before they made the attack, he gave them the clear green light to do this. He told them, you have to be strong. You have to stand up. These other guys are weak. These members of Congress are weak. You have to go there. You have to be strong. He directed them. Did he say the word attack the Capitol? No. Does he have to say the word attack the Capitol to give a green light? Of course not. It was understood. It was a green light. It was incitement. Everyone who is objective knows that. Those are the 3 reasons. And then further, Biljana, how did he react in the immediate aftermath? Did he immediately say this is outrageous, this is violence? He gave very weak, what we would use the word tepid, response about this, and again, continued to make his baseless claims. And when he finally put out that initial video, he didn't say, these people do not represent us who attacked. He didn't say that. He didn't say this is outrageous. This is, these are rioters. This is domestic terrorism, as even Republicans have called it. He didn't say that. What did he say, Biljana, after these rioters attacked the Capitol? Do you know what he said? He said to them, you are very special. He praised them.
I love you. I love you. You're very special. I love you. He said that. Yes. Many times. Yes.
Exactly. So, Biljana, there, I give you not 3, I give you 4 reasons why Donald Trump is responsible for that unprecedented attack, not done in 2 centuries, on our U.S. Capitol, the temple of our democracy, and why he should be held legally responsible for his actions. Please.
Yeah. Okay, very briefly, Ed, just to quote the New York Times, they reported that he has suggested that he wants to pardon himself. So he's asking his aides and lawyers about his self-pardon power. Very briefly,
Yes.
because we don't have time.
I'll just tell you very briefly, this would be outrageous, unprecedented. It's completely contrary to the purpose of the pardon power that was put in by the framers of our Constitution. It's another example of the outrage of Donald Trump. And for your viewers there, and so he might try this. He doesn't care about norms of democracy. He doesn't care. And he could, if he does this, the question is, what validity would it take? And what it means is that if there were a prosecution, federal prosecution against him, it would take time, additional time, to review by courts to review whether these pardons are valid. Quickly for your viewers, a pardon, he cannot pardon himself against a state. For example, the state of New York that prosecutes Donald Trump. He cannot pardon himself against a state. We have a federal system. Our states have independent judicial power, not controlled by the federal government in that sense. So he still would be vulnerable to a state prosecution, even if he pardoned himself and even if the pardon was held. Please.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you very much, Joseph. Appreciate it.
All the best.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.